that he can still get on the court and show our guards and be with them. So, you know, it's a big gift for us, and I really love working with him.
Being close with Jeremy, how rewarding was it last year to see him kind of go through some of the struggles he did and then break out at the end of the year?
It was big time, because one thing about Jeremy is he's a hard worker. He's a gym rat. He loves this game, and you know, I love this game. So to see somebody who shares that, you know, is a beautiful thing, and that's where we find common ground in our love of basketball. So, you know, him texting me, you know, hey, I want to work out early mornings, late nights, it's really cool to see that stuff pay off because one thing about him, he's going to get in the gym.
It's going to be an easy connection for everybody to say, all right, you just got to carry over that last month that he had into the whole season. It's not that easy, is it?
No, you know, it's a grind. The season is long, and you know, for a guy like that who we're going to lean on to lead our team, we're going to ask a lot from him. And now he's putting himself in position of the work he did this summer and this fall to have an unbelievable season. But you know, it requires a lot. And like I said, every day is not going to be a home run. It's a journey, and you know, you just have to embrace that. He's done a really good job at that so far. Of course, thank you.
Being like one of the only people that is returning from that run to the Final Four last year, how do you kind of think the disappointing end to it has changed Jeremy's philosophy?
I think he knows what it looks like. You know, March Madness is a beautiful thing, and it's beautiful because of how abruptly it ends. I think that's what adds to its beauty. Every team is fighting for its life. You know, every game could be your last, and you know, for us, we had a really unbelievable run. It didn't go the way we wanted, but to have that and to know what it takes to get there, I think is big time. And you know, Jeremy is one of the guys that we're going to lean on and helping to share that with the rest of our team.
Everyone here coming into the off season has played for the same coach and coached under the same coach. How important is it to have a voice from the outside and Coach Lucas to come in and maybe offer a different way of doing things?
It's great to have a different perspective, and you know, I think the cool thing about our group is we normally, even if we have a different perspective, we see things the same way. So it's really, you know, 4 keys to the same door for our coaching staff, and we always have the same goal. We always have the same goal, and it's to win at the highest level. And he comes from programs that also, you know, had aspirations to win a national championship, and he's coached big-time players, and he's been doing it for 10 years. And so he has a wealth of knowledge. He gets the game, and it's been a pleasure to work with him.
Is there a moment you can think of where he said or did something and you're like, you haven't been here, you don't, you know, the kind of getting up to speed on how Duke does things? Is there a moment where he just didn't know?
I don't think so. Not where he didn't. You know, some things, you know, we just do different that, you know, he might not have done at the other places he's been, but it's really all the same. So, you know, they might have cut from the wing, we cut from the corner. Or we might call it, you know, blitz, they call it red. Or, you know, just different language, different terminology, different schemes, but usually we're all in the same place. And that's what I meant when I kind of said 4 keys to the same door. We might come at it different ways, but we're always pretty much going the same direction.
Yeah, you've had a couple different relationships with Jon. You played under him, now you're coaching. What do you characterize as sort of the strength of his leadership? What is it that people respond to?
Yeah, I think it's 2 things. I think one is his collaboration. The way that he brings people together is really cool. And then, you know, the way he communicates, how he talks to people, his attention to detail. He knows what he wants, and, you know, his ability to find that. You know, he brought Jay here. He brought Rachel back. He brought pieces that he knew would fit, and taking the time to figure out what those pieces were. He brought me back. What am I talking about? And you know, he really gets it on a bigger level, and he helps pull all his guys in so that we're on the same page and seeing things one vision.
When you say communication, what's an example of the way he communicates that really resonates?
Yeah, I think him taking the time, whether it be in a group message, pulling us all into a staff meeting, but making sure we're all on the same page, that we're all going the same way and we're on the same direction. But then also being open to having feedback, you know, making it so we all feel like if we disagree, if we see something a different way, if we think we should be doing something or pivoting, that we have the confidence and that we feel comfortable sharing it. I think his ability to be open and receptive to feedback, but also having us communicate and collaborate as one unit has been, I think it's a big time skill.
About bringing the court and doing Wim Hof breathing. Can you take us through your experience with that whole?
I would be something of a skeptic with the Wim Hof breathing.
Still?
Yeah, but you know, I think it works for some. I'll be honest, I didn't participate fully.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. But it worked for some people, and it's pretty cool. I did a lot of reading up on it before and after. But you know, I'm a big phobia guy. So something about holding my breath didn't sit right with me. So I didn't fully, you know, get into it. I didn't fully get into it.
Who was somebody that had a breakthrough or an experience that was
Oh man, we had a few players. We had some staff that you know, kind of went to another dimension, I guess. I heard somebody snoring, so someone did the Wim Hof and it put them to sleep. It was a bunch of different experiences. For me, it was just time to reflect. It was cool being with that group and Cameron. Really for the first time, like as a group like that, in a group setting, having all those people there, and to reflect on all we've done in this gym. To have the banners right behind us, to be on the floor, to think about all the winning, the fans. It was empty, but like I could feel it. You know, this place has a presence for me. So that time was a good moment to reflect. So that's what I got out of it.
About an hour?
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool.
They mean sleep, not pass out, right?
Yeah, well, the snoring made me think they were asleep, but you know, maybe that's what you do when you pass out too. I've never passed out, so we're gonna keep that going.
Kind of like meditation.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Really similar to meditation. You have some different, you know, medicines or whatever, or things people do to meditate, and I think that's one of them. You can also do it in like the cold, like where you get into a cold plunge and also do that. So there's different variations and different ways to do it. Wasn't for me, but it was really cool.
Not signing up again.
Yeah.
Like that's obviously one exercise, and Coach Scheyer talked a little bit more kind of about team chemistry. But from your perspective, how's kind of the group gelling at the moment heading into the season?
I mean, the biggest thing, and like the thing that like gives me the most peace is that we have a pure group, man. I mean, we don't have any bad guys, any guys with ulterior motives. Everyone that we have are just good dudes first, and we have some really good players, and so they gel well together because I think everyone has a common goal. All our guys this year are focused on winning, and doesn't matter from, you know, our oldest guy to our youngest guy. They get along because we're all focused on the same thing, and it's been really cool to see, especially because we have so much new. You would think it would be easy for guys to be doing their own thing. I think Jeremy has done a good job of instilling our culture, and then a bunch of the team bonding that we've been able to do. And it doesn't matter if it's something small like you know, going to the drive shack, or something like Wim Hof, or you know, playing dodgeball, or whatever. Those moments have helped us build a bond. And you know, when you get to March asks you, what did you do in June and July? And to be honest, you're only as strong as your bond is, and so we're creating something really cool.
I may have been asked this before, but what's it like not having
he's taking a little vacation, or is it a break? How weird is that not having him run things?
Yeah, it's different, but I think he did an amazing job of setting it up where he knew we would be okay when he was, when it was time for him to step down. And then I said this earlier, but I find myself pretty much every day either saying something or going about something a way in which he has. So we've learned so much from him. It's just a part of our makeup. He's a part of our DNA. And then he's around. So I find myself being able to talk to him, run things by him all the time. He's a wealth of knowledge, and he understands this game of basketball better than anyone. And so he's taught me so much, and I just find myself just off of instincts doing things that I think he would do it that way, or trying to do things the way I think he would do it, which is pretty cool.
One more if I can get it in before I let the professionals actually handle it. Have you hit the point now where you're not identifying with players like you used to? 'Cause it wasn't that long ago you were active playing. Now you're a coach.
Yeah.
Have you hit that divide just yet? When they're looking at you like, I know you're thinking, I still do this, but they're looking at you like, okay, coach, come on.
Yeah, it's pretty funny for them to call me coach now, and I think I'm still at a place where they still see me as a coach, but also as like a big brother too. I can remember 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, in Philly, going to the open runs and just playing against Derek. I'm still playing. I'm getting in shape. It's off season. I'm working out, and we're going. He's playing with the pros. And now to have him back here and to be coaching him, it literally happened like this. And so we still share those memories, and we have a bond because of that. And I can relate to the guys. I still get out there and play with them. I still get out there and guard them, and we'll play ones and things like that. So it's good because I think it helps them identify with me a little better, which is nice. And so to have that respect from them, but to also still for them to be able to feel comfortable coming to talk to me, hang out with me, whatever you want to call it. It's a good balance, a really good balance.
How would you assess Derek defensively, and Kyle, for that matter, too? Freshmen coming into the college game, it's a big adjustment for them.
For sure.
Where are
They're still both learning some little nuances that you just got to teach that they haven't learned before. Our language, our terminology, how we want their feet, how we want them coming over, how we want them closing out, verticals and body ups. We're still teaching them, and they're learning. I think they're both going to be really good defenders. Derek is going to be excellent at protecting the rim. He just has great instincts and timing, and he has a good feel for when to come over and contest the shot. And then I think the biggest thing for both of them is going to be multiple efforts. So you do one good thing, but on defense, you got to hurry up and transition and then do another. So you may have to come over and stop somebody from driving baseline, but then you got to still come over and body up, and then they kick it out, and you still got to box out and get the rebound. So it's being able to go to the next thing in multiple efforts and having pride in it. Defense is about three things: technique, pride, and multiple efforts. So really instilling that in our guys.
Are you working with the bigs?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know in the past they've had certain coaches working with different guys, and I assume that you would go into that role.
Yeah, and I think the cool thing, I said this a little bit, is that we work in an ecosystem. So I think, yes, I am the primary with the bigs, but there have been days where Jay has taken the bigs, or Coach Carrawell has taken the bigs, because we all have, different backgrounds, different knowledge. We all play, at the highest levels. And so it's not like, I am territorial over them or anything like that. It's pretty cool when someone else grabs them. But we work in a hybrid and an ecosystem where there's a day where I grab the wings or the guards and things like that. So it's been really cool working with this group.
Are you still in shape enough when you play against them or tussle against them in drills that you don't get too sore, or we haven't gotten to that point yet, or have you?
I'm still young enough where I can wake up and still be okay and do it again. But they are a lot stronger. I don't lift as much, and they lift every day. They're getting bigger. So for me, it's just about pushing them, getting them better, and then occasionally try to trick them and show them I can still dunk or something like that.
Can I take you down the Wayback Machine for a minute?
Of course.
Yeah, so you were one of the few guys around here that actually played high school basketball in Cameron, which you probably remember me. I was a little younger then. I'm talking to you. Was it Goodman? Was that your teammate?
It was.
It was.
Savon Goodman.
Better than I thought. But I was able to cover you as a recruit here. You've really been around this program a long time. Do you ever think about that? Did you have any? And can you go back and think of what were my thoughts then when I was playing in Cameron? I mean, it came down to Duke and NC State, obviously. But
yeah, I mean, I can remember the first time I came to Duke. Duke did one elite camp on campus where they had guys come in, whatever prospects. I was in like 8th grade, and John was probably like a sophomore, junior, and they had this camp. This had to be like 2007, 2008, and we got to stay the night in the hotel. The hotel is not even there anymore. I think it's the back of the JB now, but I remember coming here and just being blown away and seeing Coach K, and I'm trying to think of guys. T.J. Warren was here, Quincy Miller was here, just a bunch of guys, and playing with them, and I was like, wow, this place is amazing. Like, if I could ever, and I'm probably in 8th grade, I'm like, man, if I had a chance to go here, and then came back and played, I think my sophomore year of high school, and still amazing. And when you first come see this gym, it's unassuming. You're like, this is Cameron.
Yeah.
And then when I saw it packed for Countdown my senior year, I was like, incredible. And so I've had a long journey with this place and the fields and getting to know it, and then to come play here, man, was incredible. It was incredible. Did a lot of winning in here. Loved every moment of it. And so, yeah, I have a special place in my heart for Durham, for North Carolina, and for Duke.
You sort of grew up a Duke fan, kind of?
I did not.
You did not? Okay.
I did not. I'm in Big 5 territory.
Okay.
I grew up watching Temple and Villanova and Philly schools. And when Duke came to play Temple, I was probably rooting for Temple, just because. When Duke started showing interest, of course, I started looking at it a different way, because this was the pinnacle, not only for athletics and for basketball, but for academics. I always prided myself on being a good student, and so I knew what type of school this was. And so to have that balance, to be at the top, athletically and academically, I'm like, man, I want to be that kid. Like, this is the place for me. And so I think it was meant to be.
Whatever happened to your teammate, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, he kept playing. He played at UNLV. He was playing overseas. I think he still might be overseas. I still keep in touch with him every now and then. As you get older, even your good friends, you can talk to them every 2 years, and it's like you just go right back to where you were. So he was doing great. Yeah, good dude.
Have you noticed any, maybe not difference is the right word in Jon, like the last month as the season has gotten closer, but like a sense that maybe it's all finally hitting him or washing over him? Is there any sense of that you can see?
Of course. I think, it's funny because Coach Scheyer will say things in meetings or do things in meetings, and I'll be like, wow, this reminds me of Coach K. And it's like a really cool moment. And so to see his attention to detail, it's picked up, it's heightened. You can see that he's in that mode, and it's really cool because one thing that I used to, as a player, and then coming back last year, it's like, man, I'm just gonna get on Coach's bus. Like, he's bringing it. Like, he's on fire right now. Like, if I just, stay with him and just try to bring as much energy as he's bringing, I'm gonna be good. Like, I know I'm gonna be good. And I've started to see myself doing that with Coach Scheyer, which is really cool. It's like, oh yeah, he's in the zone today. Like, just attach yourself next to him, follow his lead, and like, we're going to be great. And so to see that evolution has been really cool.
You mentioned picking up some of the things that Kay maybe have done. Is there like one expression or specific thing in film that he's doing that is so reminiscent?
There's a ton. I think one of the things, sometimes Coach is really good at like using analogies. Jon has started to pick that up and use them, and it's really cool because it helps you think about, we're thinking about basketball, but when he uses an analogy and talks about something that, whatever it may be, something just totally out there, a movie, a reference, you're like, wow, that makes even more sense. And when he does it with our guys pick it up really quickly, which is it's really cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
John spoke a little bit. Sorry.
No.
Of
course.
About some of the excitements and challenges of building something new and having a whole new coaching staff and figuring it out on the fly. Is that something that excites you or feels like a challenge?
It's definitely something that excites me because you always got to be ready, always got to be on your toes. Motion offense, and we have such a pure team and a pure staff that sometimes it's just free flowing, just like water, and we're not forcing anything. Of course, there's pressure, and I said this earlier. Whenever you're doing something great, you should feel pressure. You should feel a little nervous. It doesn't mean you're scared. It doesn't mean you're doubtful. It's just anything you do that's great, that has significance, that's meaningful. You have a little bit of that, and it's because you care. And so I think we have a huge care factor in our staff and our program and our team, and that's why we do things at such a high level.
Thanks, guys.
Of course. Thank you.